What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 11 of the Weekly Gridiron. As always, we are your hosts, Adam,
Dante,
and
Luke.
And it's a celebration. This episode, we're all done with finals week. Congratulations, boys.
Yes, sir.
Good to be done.
Thank God. I just wanted to pass.
Dante, I will say, we'll go around. Dante, how'd your finals go? You don't have to give any grades, of course, but
I don't have any grades to give.
How was your experience?
They went pretty well. You know, I didn't have to go in person at all for my finals. They were all online.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so...
Lucky, for sure.
A couple final papers, had to do a Zoom call. You know, that kind of sucked. And for my computer class, which, if you're listening, you know, I'm giving you the finger right now. But I'm joking. I love my school. I love my college. But, yeah, they went pretty well. I think I did well in my finals.
Yeah. Luke, how about you?
They went all right. I think that my first one went better than the second one, but that's because my second one was calculus. And how is that ever supposed to go well?
Oh, I took my stats final, bro. Oh, my God.
Oh, man, dude, math. It's just math, really.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Got my philosophy final paper back. I'll share that. I got a 285 out of 300. So
oh, you had a thought, dude.
Pretty good, yeah. yeah. Filled with the thoughts in my brain.
You had a thought, dude.
Yeah. I had a thought, dude.
Mine went well. I guess you could say 2 online. One of them I had to be in person for. Dante knows. Psych. Bennett.
Yeah, I took that.
It went fine. Then math was in person, and then Spanish today, just a presentation. Went well, I think. So I did it on Albert Pujols, which is pretty
nice, dude. That's sick.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
AP5.
Yes, sir. Well, anyway, it is now, I can't believe I'm saying this, guys, week 15 of the NFL season.
Oh, my God, dude. Jesus.
We are getting down to the wire. Let's go over the standings real quick for our picks before we start. Last week was not the best week for us, but it happens. Luke and I went 7-6. Dante went 6-7. Dante still is in first.
Let's go.
Sitting at 125, 66, and 1. It's a pretty good record.
And 1? Oh, there was a tie. Yeah. That's right.
Well, yeah, the ties. And then Luke and I are both 118, 73, and 1. So pretty good so far.
Yeah, pretty close.
Let's get into week 15, starting with the Thursday night game. The 49ers and the Seahawks. It's a divisional rivalry. It used to be great battle of 2 great QBs all the time. Used to be Wilson versus Kaepernick, Wilson versus Jimmy G. Now it's Geno Smith versus Brock Purdy, but it's okay.
Arguably as good as it gets.
Matchup of the century.
Still a good battle. As much as I love Geno Smith and how great he's playing this season, I'm going to take the 49ers in this game. Brock Purdy's been playing really well since he had to take over for Jimmy G. The Niners are on a roll. Even without Debo, I think they can win this game. I think this game could be the deciding factor of who could win the division. I think if the Seahawks win, there's still a chance they can come back and steal it, but they'd have to go on a big run. But if the Niners win it, I think they pretty much have it in the bag from there. So I'm going to take the Niners, but I won't be surprised if Seattle makes this a game.
Luke, you go first. I'm pretty indecisive right now.
All right, well, I'm going to pick the Niners as well, so maybe that will help with your decision if you want to join the pack or be rebellious. But I'm going to take the Niners as well. Again, such a thrilling QB matchup. But it really is interesting, actually. Geno Smith just lost to the Panthers. Brock Purdy just beat Tom Brady. He was the first player in the NFL, first starting QB in NFL history to beat Tom Brady in his first start. That's a little bit of an ESPN stat, but we'll let it slide. I'm going to keep rolling with the hot hand. Give me Brock Purdy and the 49ers. They just have too many weapons on offense, but it should be a good game.
Yeah, Luke, the reason I asked you is I wanted to see if you could convince me to ride with the Seahawks, and you did not.
I did not.
And thankfully you did not, because I'm going with the Niners.
Yeah, it's the logical pick.
Yeah, I was leaning their way anyway, but yeah, I think this is a pretty safe pick here. But yeah, you never know. The Seahawks could be sneaky. They could win this game, but I don't think they're going to. Give me the Niners.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. All right. Clean sweep to start it out. And now we are moving on into that's right, Saturday slate of NFL games. Usually we have college football Saturday, but with the bowl games starting, I guess some of the lesser-known ones, like I think Troy and UTSA are this weekend, but the main bowl games are not going to be for a while, so NFL takes up a good Saturday slate of football. I like to see it. We have 3 Saturday games to go over, starting with the first one. It is the Colts and the Vikings. Indy, really not that great this year. Minnesota has been a little cooled down lately?
They've cooled down significantly, and everyone, every single week says, "Oh, they're the worst 10-1 team in NFL history. Now they're the worst 10-2 team in NFL history, or whatever they are. Now they're the worst
10-3.
Now they're the worst 10-3 team in NFL history." So people have been a little harsh, but it is true they've significantly cooled down.
Well, they've recently played teams like the Jets and the Lions.
And the Patriots, who they should have lost to. I'm still salty about that. I'm still very salty about that.
What I'm trying to say is those teams fit a trend of either good opponents or sneaky good opponents that could give the Vikings a run. The Colts really don't fit that mold for me. I think the Vikings should win this game. I think this is a really nice chance for Minnesota to get back on track, get a much-needed win, and move much closer to clinching that NFC North title. I mean, if they haven't already. I think they could technically clinch it this weekend. But, yeah, this is pretty much a gimme game for Minnesota, and I think they take advantage and get a much-needed win. So I'm going to take the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Vikings, too. I mean, it was the same case with the 11-0 Steelers. They'd win. They'd be, worst 7-0 team, then worst 10-0 team, worst 11-0 team.
I want to interrupt
real
quick,
right.
Dante. Huh? Sorry, I want to interrupt real quick. Their offense really wasn't that bad last week. Kirk Cousins and Jefferson had great games, but
Jefferson had the most receiving yards in a game in Vikings history.
Yeah, Lions just outplayed them, plain and simple. They're getting outplayed by teams. That's the problem.
They just wanted it more.
Yeah,
and Penei Sewell wanted the ball more.
I think, like I said, it's the Colts. I don't think the Vikings should have any problem. But go ahead, Dante. Continue with what you were going to say.
Yeah, as I was saying, whenever the Steelers were on their 11-0 run, it was they're the worst 7-0 team. Oh, now they're the worst 10-0 team. Now they're the worst 11-0 team. Granted, the Steelers did have a huge fall-off.
Yeah,
However,
they definitely had some holes in the success.
Yeah, and so did the Vikings. But I think the Vikings are a better team than that Steelers team was. In my opinion, but yeah, I'm going with the Vikings here for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Vikings as well. I agree with Adam when he says it's a good opportunity for a bounce back for them. It's something they desperately need to capitalize on, not because they're in danger of having any sort of ugly record by the end of the year if they keep losing. They've already clinched 10 wins. Nobody's catching them in that division. That's not the point. They need to have the confidence. If they're going to compete at all in the playoffs, they're supposed to be one of the NFL's top 10 teams at least. If they're going to compete at all going forward, they need these wins. So I think they know that, and it's not like they're banged up. I think they're fine. So they really need this one, and I think they do get it.
Now that I think about it, they can officially clinch the division with a win this weekend because every team is down to 4 games left on their schedule. The Lions, right now, it's a 4-game difference between the first and second place. The Vikings have 10 wins and the Lions have 6. After this weekend, even if it goes to 11-7 for both sides, there are only 3 games left. The Lions won't be able to catch the Vikings, even if the Vikings lose out. So, yeah, Minnesota wins. They clinch the NFC North, and it's a pretty much perfect opportunity to do so. Next game, we've got a good one. It's the Ravens and the Browns, and when these two play, it's always a fun matchup. Always is. No matter if we like them or not. And I know Dante really is not a fan of either team, but
I don't mind the Ravens.
Yeah, I know you don't like the Browns. It's always a fun matchup between these two, though. Dante, since you aren't the biggest fan, I guess, of either side, you pick first.
Well, first of all, I'm going to say I think the Browns are supremely overrated, even though their record is horrible. I think Deshaun Watson is an overrated quarterback as of now. He used to be a top 5, I'd say, in the league, but right now he's getting way too much hype, and he has not been playing up to standard. Who'd they lose to last week? The Bengals? And then they barely beat the Texans the week before.
The Bengals, interestingly enough, after having won their last 5 against them.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I'm going with the Ravens here. The Ravens' run game is absolutely shining right now. Tyler Huntley this is actually tough, man. I'm going to go with the Ravens here. I think their quarterback play is going to be good enough no matter who starts. So yeah, I'm taking the Ravens.
I'm going to agree with you. I thought about this game a lot, but kind of the same, reasons I'm factoring in here. Deshaun Watson has not looked like anything special since coming back. He's, really struggling to get back to form to what he was before his suspension and whole saga went down. But the Browns, that was for the Browns. The Ravens, they don't have Lamar Jackson, but they proved that they could win with Tyler Huntley last week. I know they played Pittsburgh, who's kind of like the same tier as the Browns right now. But, I mean, Baltimore can win without Lamar, and I think they do it again here. And they, from what I know, they usually do beat the Browns.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ride with history in this one. I think Baltimore gets the win, although I can see it being a close game. I don't think they escape by a blowout. I think it'll be close. It'll be interesting, but I'm taking the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm actually a little indecisive about this. So I was going to look up. It doesn't look like it's going to load. I don't know the Browns-Ravens history. Oh, no, it is loading. The Ravens won the last game, apparently. I forget. Was that this year? Have they played already this year?
The Browns and the Ravens?
Yeah.
I don't... Yeah, I believe they have.
I think...
Let me check.
Yes, that was this year.
Yep, they did. And
back
the
in October.
And the Ravens won 23-20.
Yeah. And actually, I'm looking at it. The Ravens have won 5 out of the last 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? I'm still going to do it. I'm going to pick the Browns. I'm going to defect from the pack here. I'm not going to pick the Ravens along with you two, even though I think that there is a good shot they win.
Yeah.
I know Deshaun has been bad, and that we all love to see it, but something will probably give eventually. I don't think he's ever going to return to the form he was in Houston, but he's not just going to be horrible for the rest of his career, so something's got to give. This is two teams that are really... I mean, the Ravens are a good team, right? But without Lamar, and they've been playing worse. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say these are two bad teams. Again, I know the Ravens aren't a bad team, but right now, and this seems like a game where Deshaun, if he doesn't win this game, we have problems.
Yeah.
Well, they have problems. Everyone's going to love to see that. But if he doesn't win this game, there's a problem. If he does, then you hold your breath for now. But I think he knows that. I think the Browns know that. It's going to be a close game either way. Even if Lamar was playing, I feel like it would be a close game. We saw that earlier. You just said that the last game they played in October, the Ravens only won by 3, and I have a feeling that was probably thanks to Justin Tucker. But this week, I think I'm going to go with the Browns. It's close, though.
All right, yeah, you're right. Very close game. Moving on to the last Saturday game, we have the Dolphins and the Bills. Last time they played, Miami got the win. That was in Miami. This time it's in Buffalo. Last week, I heard Miami was using heaters on their sideline because it was 50 degrees and too cold for them. This week, they are going up to Buffalo where it is projected 7 inches of snow. I'm going to take the Bills. I don't think there's any other explanation needed. I guess other than the fact that Tua has not looked very good in his last 2 games, the Dolphins maybe are starting to come back down to earth a little bit. Regardless, I'm going to take the Bills. I think they should win, especially since it's at home for them.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bills also. Don't count out the Dolphins, though. They're a sneaky good team. They've been pretty good all season. That whole division has been pretty solid outside of the Jets.
Dante, let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
do you like the Buffalo Bills?
I do like the Buffalo Bills.
We know that. I'm just kidding.
They're probably my second favorite team, if I'm going to be honest.
L.
I wouldn't say my second favorite team. Dude, Buffalo fans are so similar to Steeler fans.
Buffalo fans, no, don't disrespect yourselves like that. They're the cringiest fans that exist.
Oh, my God.
Dude, what was the game that they lost? I forget, that Josh Allen didn't play well. There was this meme. This was real. There was, a Facebook moms group who, wrote, letters of encouragement and, cheesy little prayers for Josh Allen. Keep your head up, buddy.
That's ride or die, dog.
That's so cringy. It's...
Whatever.
It's not ride or die.
Don't get me started about Patriots fans, Luke.
Oh, I know we're scumbags.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine.
I'd rather be cringy than a scumbag.
No.
That's
I'd rather be a scumbag than oh, it's okay, buddy. Keep your head up. You make $40 million. You can lose a game or 2. It's fine.
Best fans in the league. Give me the Bills.
They jump through a few tables and he thinks they're the greatest people ever.
No, bro. You gotta look at the donations they made whenever Andy Dalton got him into the playoffs.
Okay, there is things like that.
Exactly.
In my opinion, due to the fans, one of the hardest places to win is Bank of America Stadium.
All right. We'll cover that.
Who? I'm sorry, Adam.
After all that, it pains me. Well, I hate both these teams. It doesn't pain me. I'm going to pick the Bills as well.
You're in the same situation I was like.
Yeah,
in
I
the
know.
last game.
I'm going to get my happiness out of this game from Tua crapping all over himself again.
And whoever loses, you'll be happy.
Yeah, but actually, as a Patriots fan, I need the Bills to win this game because we only need to get closer to the Dolphins now. Last week was the first week I had to cheer for the Dolphins against the Chargers.
Yeah.
Because we have a better chance at finishing over the Chargers than the Dolphins. But of course, the one week I have to cheer for Tua, what does he do? He goes over there and he throws up all over himself. So give me more of that at this point, because why not? That's what it's going to be. We posted on our Instagram just yesterday our Week 14 overreactions. That was my excuse to say that Tua sucks again. I love hating on him. I know he's a great guy. He really is. I watch his interviews. He has a lot of poise. He's a good guy. But get him off the football field. I don't think he's any good.
Right. Exactly.
Tyreek Hill Merchant. They make it easy on him.
Luke, do you like Tua?
I don't know. Actually, I do as a person, but as a player, he can. Yeah, I don't think he's very good.
So you're taking the Bills.
You don't have to finish that sentence, Luke.
I'll just silence myself and let you guys go on. But I'm picking the Bills.
Okay. Moving into the Sunday slate, we've got a real thriller to start it off. The Eagles and the Bears. As Dante said last week, well, I guess I don't know if I'll say it for this game, but sometimes there's not more of a lock than this.
Yeah.
And I think we can do it. 1, 2, 3,
Eagles. Light work.
Yeah.
Give me Jalen Hurts.
Funny, they became one of the most likable team, probably the most likable team in the NFL. A couple years ago, I didn't like them, obviously, because they beat us in the Super Bowl. But
talk about scumbag fans, though.
Yeah, Philly fans. Sorry, Adam.
Dude, as a Phillies fan, I'll admit it. They're ruthless.
Phillies fans are cool.
Phillies fans are cool.
Even though they're the same people.
Eagles fans are ruthless.
Go Bears, baby, go Bears.
They're very ruthless.
But they kind of have a cool swagger about them. Like what was the motto from Jason Kelsey the year they won the Super Bowl? Everybody hates us and we don't give a blank.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool. I
like Jason Kelsey. He's cool.
That's an attractive mind. Jason Kelsey is cool. I mean, they're cool this year. They're likable, but their fans are not. But we're still going to pick them, obviously.
Yeah, the Phillies fans going to use the same motto. It's like everyone hates us, but we don't care. Something like that. But all right, moving on to the next.
That's the PG version.
Yeah, true. Moving on to the next game. This is actually a thriller of a matchup, I think, especially if Mr. Mike White is going to play.
Yeah.
We've got, I think he is. We've got the Lions and the Jets. This game's actually sneaky good. I would tune in to watch this game.
Are you guys going to do me the favor of picking against the Lions again this week?
No, I'm taking the Lions.
Thank
No,
you.
I am too.
All right, are we just all going to establish that we're all taking the Lions and we can talk about it?
Yeah. Well, I will say I really like what the Lions are doing right now. The Panthers play them the week after this week. I'm not excited to be going up against them. Josh Knapp, if you're listening, you and I both know Josh and I have $5 on the line. We're making a small bet for that game. Not gambling advice, but yeah. The Lions are playing some really good football right now. They play with a lot of heart, and that's really, I think, the biggest factor in sports. And that's what really can get you far is how much heart you have and how much you're willing to work for it. They beat the Vikings. Who'd they beat the week before? I don't remember who it was. The Jaguars. That's it. I think they beat them by they destroyed them. Yeah, they did. I remember. Both of those games were at home. This one is not. They're on the road in New York, which it's cold weather up there. But
you're right. They beat the Jaguars 40-14.
Yeah, that was crazy. I think the Lions can get it done. I mean, the Jets, I feel like I said about the Lions, the Jets are really a team that is starting to come back down to earth. They lost last week to the Bills. They lost to the Vikings the week before. They're really starting to struggle. And I think the Jets will be 7-7 after this week. So we're all picking the Lions? Is that what we're saying?
Easy. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is another one of those games. I pay attention every week because the Patriots are going to be right in the thick of it for the 7 seed until the very end of the year. So, I have to pick some games to cheer for some people. And it's going to be easy this week. I have to cheer for the Lions because the Jets need to keep fumbling the bag. They need to keep dropping down low. I have such a love-hate relationship with making the 7 seed because I know it just means we're either going to make our way up to Buffalo or Kansas City for a yearly beatdown. But it's fine. I think that the Jets are going to jet by the end of the year, and as long as we can finish over the Chargers, we should have the playoffs on a lock. And that might also include that the Dolphins choke at the end of the year. We'll see.
All right, Dante, you ready?
Yeah. This is a game we've been
waiting for. You two have the
for.
floor. You two have.
Adam, you go first.
You remember the first episode, we had the Steelers and the Pats. We have the Steelers and the Panthers. Dante and I have been waiting since the schedules came out for this week.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for this. This is a game, I will say as a Panthers fan, this is a game coming into the season I had marked as an L. I remembered 4 years ago, TJ Watt versus Cam Newton. I was there to witness it. It was not great. It was not a good night for football. It was fun to go to the game, but not a good night for football. The Panthers right now have won 2 games in a row. They are in second place, a game out of first in the NFC South. By far the worst division in football. You can argue the Panthers are the best team. I mean, say the Bucs all you want. We beat them 21-3. Think about it. But for this game, there is something that tells me the Carolina Panthers are going to get their revenge from 4 years ago and win. Kenny Pickett, it's looking like he's going to start, even though he's coming off a concussion. Sam Darnold's in there for the 3rd game in a row. He's been balling out the last 2. Ride the hot hand. Let him go out there. There's something telling me that Carolina is going to win this game. And they're going to be in first place once the Buccaneers lose to Cincinnati. I like our chances. If the Steelers win, I'm not going to be surprised. But keep pounding, go Panthers. I'm riding with my squad. Dante, you're up.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. There are 3 things in this life that are certain. Death, taxes, and the Steelers always pull me back in at the end of the year. Never doubt Kenny Pickett. The Steelers are winning this game. TJ Watt. Oh, man. Sam Darnold versus Kenny Pickett. Matchup of the century, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's another thing. Going into the season, I did not expect right now both teams would have the same record, and the QB matchup would be Kenny Pickett and Sam Darnold. That's not something I expected.
Our run defense looked bad last week.
Yeah, good luck. You're going up against the next Derrick Henry, Deontay Foreman.
Okay.
He is, just saying.
Okay, but okay. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road. They're taking this game, and we're going to the freaking playoffs.
Yeah.
Sorry. Pittsburgh Steelers to the playoffs. Start the narrative. No, but give me Pittsburgh here.
All right, Luke, it comes down to you. Who are you riding with?
If you think about it, this will reveal my pick. Unfortunately, this is the last week we can ever say. Did you guys know? Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season.
Yes!
Meaning he's going to lose this week.
He's going to lose this week.
Nah. This is the last week we can ever say it.
You're telling me, Mike, nah. He's going to lose it to the Panthers?
My guy, Luke.
Okay.
Yes.
My guy.
Hey, I'm telling you.
He is going to lose his historic bragging
Panthers
right
are ending history
to
this
Samuel Darnold.
Okay.
He's going to lose his historic bragging right to Sam Darnold.
Hey, you remember when TJ Watt had a day last time? Brian Burns this time is going to have a day. JC Horn.
Stop it.
JC Horn is going to lock down, whichever receiver wants to make a TikTok that
You
day.
cannot compare the game TJ Watt had against Cam Newton. You cannot expect that from a Panthers player.
Hey,
And that's not a shot at the Panthers.
You never know.
I know.
You never know.
Matt Judon clears.
You never know.
Hey, Matt Judon's better than Brian Burns.
JC Horn doesn't even have to
I'll
have that
take
hard
that.
of a Sunday. Deontay Johnson has not been playing well, in my opinion. Sorry, Dante.
No, you're fine.
Hey, George Pickens. Okay, all right. Put him on Pickens. He's actually having a good day.
Have you guys been against tight ends this year? Because we have one of the hottest tight ends in the league right
Pause.
I don't
now.
know.
Not pause. He is.
But-
He's a stunning
Yeah, and
young
he's also
man.
good at football.
He is.
We'll get it going. We'll solve Muth this week.
Yeah, well, you better solve him.
I will say this, okay? I expect the Steelers fans to make a trip to Carolina and
They
go
always
out and
do.
support their squad.
They
They
always
always
do.
go everywhere. Do you remember the game against Atlanta? That stadium was packed with Steelers fans. I expect it to be the same on Sunday. I'm going to say this might feel like more of a road game for Carolina than a home game.
And another stat, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 3-0 against the NFC South this year.
Everybody is feasting on that division, to be fair.
We're about to make it 3-1.
So everybody make it.
We'll see.
That is
You two are
sweet.
so cute. It'll be an interesting game.
It's the battle of mid.
Yeah, I really don't know.
Luke, why don't you preview the next game for us?
What is the next game? You have
Chiefs
different
and
order. than me.
Texans.
Oh, okay. Much harder game to pick, obviously. The Texans looked like the best team in NFL history last week for about 45 minutes, and then they blew it. But the Chiefs have looked like the best team in the NFL for the past 4 years. As if I could even begin to question myself. The Chiefs are gonna roll over the Texans, and then they're gonna back up, and they're gonna roll over them again, and then they're gonna drive forward some more. They're gonna realize they forgot something. They're gonna back up again. They're gonna put it in reverse, roll over them again, and then they're gonna take off and roll over them one more time. And there will be nothing left of the Texans after this game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're wondering, I'm picking the Chiefs.
Dante, who are you picking?
Yeah, I'm picking the Chiefs.
Upset of the week. Just kidding. You thought. I'm going with the Chiefs, too. This is really a no-brainer game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Kansas City should. I mean, last week, okay, Houston gave Dallas a run, but Kansas City, I think, is better than Dallas. I mean, I don't see this happening again. I get it. Houston, was motivated. They had something to play for, maybe. Huge upset. But at this point, I think it's more about losing out to get the rights to draft, whether it's Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, whoever the QB would be. So, yeah. I think the Chiefs will win this game pretty handedly. Moving on, we've got the Falcons and the Snooze fest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are you supposed to pick in this game to better your situation?
I think the Saints, and I'll tell you what, I went back and forth with this game. When I saw Andy Dalton was starting again, I was going to pick the Falcons. I was like, yeah, Atlanta's going to win this game. Then I thought about it. Desmond Ridder is making his first career start. I have no idea how he's going to do. Meanwhile, there are these random weeks. Andy Dalton has good games. He's done it a few times this year. He had a good game against the Rams. I forget the other ones, but something is telling me to pick the Saints in this game. They're at home, too, which makes it better for them. They'd sweep the Falcons on the season. And I don't like Atlanta. You know that. I'm not the biggest New Orleans fan either, but I don't like Atlanta. But this is the week the Falcons tank begins. Give me the Saints. They're going to help out the Panthers. Get them to first place. Give me New Orleans.
Real quick, I have breaking news. Kind of as expected, Tyler Huntley has cleared concussion protocol, and he should start against the Browns.
Then that just further solidifies my pick on the Ravens.
It would, but I'll stick with my risky Browns pick because why not?
I could definitely see that happening. But for this game, I'm taking Atlanta. I think Atlanta is way better than their record projects. They are pretty good offensively. However, defensively, they are not the best outside of A.J. Terrell, who has also been having a down year.
Yeah,
but yeah, give me Atlanta here over the Saints.
Excuse me. Yeah, I was yawning because this game is so boring.
Dante, did you take Atlanta? Sorry.
I did take Atlanta, yes.
I'm going to have to pick Atlanta, too. I haven't been paying attention to either of these teams, besides the fact that Ridder starting is a little bit interesting, and Jameis not starting is still infuriating. Just for my spite over that, I'll go with the Falcons, even though I don't really have a dog in this fight.
Yeah.
All right.
Not many people do.
Yeah. No. Next game, we've got the Cowboys and the Jaguars. Dallas almost lost last week, but they survived. Jacksonville had a huge win. Dante, you make your pick first. I'm actually going to go last. Luke or Dante, one of you two go first.
Cowboys.
Cowboys too?
Cowboys versus Jaguars, Luke.
Cowboys. Come on. Light work.
Yeah. Cowboys just because of the defense.
I got one word for you guys.
Do it.
Stop it.
Duval.
Stop it.
It's my upset of the week. Call me crazy. The Jaguars went off against Tennessee last weekend. Dallas last week showed they're vulnerable. Trevor Lawrence is balling out right now. Screw it. I'm taking the Jacks at home. Call me nuts. When it happens,
You're nuts.
I'm going to have a field day with you all.
Okay, all right.
I imagine it won't happen. It's a risky upset pick. But I'm going to make it my risky pick.
That feels like an upset pick just because you felt like you needed to have one.
Well,
I support it though. I guess why not?
I look at the rest of the schedule, and there's not an upset-ish pick that I'm confident in making. It's not a bad narrative. Jacksonville played very well last week. Evan Ingram went off. He's been one of the best tight ends this year. Trevor Lawrence is finally starting to catch fire. Doug Peterson ain't a bad coach by any means. That defense is kind of sneaky. I think they could give the Cowboys some run, especially since it's at home in Jacksonville. I'm going to take the Jags. Yeah.
All
Call
right.
me crazy.
Go for it.
I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah. Anyway, next game. Cardinals and Broncos.
Oh, what a snooze.
The Broncos, we call the most boring team in football. The Cardinals.
Kyler is out. Russ might be out.
Cardinals, yeah, Kyler's out for the season. I guess Russ could be out. So it would be Brett Ripien against Colt McCoy. You know what? Even if Russell Wilson plays, give me the Cardinals. They're just abysmal. And at least Arizona, I mean, they have pieces. They've got D-Hop. They've got James Conner. Denver, I mean, they've got Judy, but I'm really not confident in anything besides that. Give me the Cardinals on the road. I think somehow, I mean, Colt McCoy's won games before. I think he could do it again. Broncos are already eliminated from the playoffs, so I mean, what do they have to play for at this point? They don't even have their draft pick either. It's currently, I want to emphasize this, it's currently the second overall pick.
Oh my God.
Seattle has it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
They're 3-10.
Yeah. They're about to be
Oh
3 and
my
They're about to be
God.
3-11. Give me Arizona.
I didn't know they were that bad. Yeah, give me.
They're horrible, dude. Carolina easily took care of them,
Well, I hope so.
as they should. Broncos country. Let's ride.
I mean, I guess 4-9 isn't that much better, but give me the Cardinals for sure. I mean, I'm honestly in some aspects I'm more confident in Colt McCoy than I am in Kyler Murray. Give me the Cardinals. Absolutely.
Luke?
I don't know. I kind of want to pick the Broncos, just
Who really
because.
cares?
Just because we beat the Cardinals last week. They looked horrible. Both teams are horrible, but just for the sheer fact that the Cardinals looked extra sucky last week, and the Broncos somehow. Was that their season high of points?
It was 28.
Against the Chiefs.
Mhm.
I cringe and throw up in my mouth every time I have to pick the Broncos, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably pick the Broncos more than any of you, and that's not from a place of love. It's from a place of I don't even know.
No, y'all know
deep
how,
down from the depths of hell, but I'm gonna pick them again.
y'all know how I feel about the Broncos this year. I've said it multiple times. Cannot stand them.
I can't stand them either. But there we go.
All right, Luke is riding with Broncos country. Moving on. Here, Luke, it's the Pats and the Raiders. You go ahead and preview it. You make the first pick, because I got to do something anyway.
Okay, so I should have readied this, but I saw a bunch of stats on like Twitter or something that I don't even know what they were, but they were all like, oh, we've done so well against the Raiders because of this, and our past record against the Raiders, and every time we go there, it's in Vegas, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna pick the Patriots again. The Raiders are falling all over their face again this year. They've started to bounce back a little bit, and I am a little bit worried about. Why can't I think? Devontae Adams. What am I thinking? But as much as I love Derek Carr, he's been making mistakes, and we have the most points off turnovers in the whole NFL this year. I believe 85. We're gonna be able to capitalize on that pretty easily, and the Raiders, for how good their offense should be, have been losing so many games because I think their defense is very subpar. And even though our offense is subpar, those things can cancel each other out. And as long as Matt Patricia doesn't go out there and... Actually, as long as he doesn't safely make it to the game, we should have a chance. Is that too far to say?
That's fair.
No. He called... not his worst game ever last week. So as long as he can just do that again and manage to not destroy us from within again, like he has done multiple times. We need this win. We know that. So we're going to get the win. That's what Bill Belichick does.
Yeah.
Dante, you go ahead.
Yeah, give me the Pats. Light work.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've made the mistake of choosing the Raiders too much this year.
We all have.
Yeah, like everybody's guilty of that. And I don't know, like, even if I wanted to pick the Raiders, I just can't. I think the Patriots are a good team, and they're going to take care of business here on the road. Yeah, dude. Like, come on. Can't have conflict with everybody on the show.
We have officially made it to the Josh McDaniels Bowl.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
I was surprised Luke didn't emphasize that a lot more. You can go ahead if you want.
Sorry, Josh McDaniels is very forgettable.
Yeah, he's just too irrelevant to remember, you know.
He's just too bad. Yeah. But I was going to say, yeah, Dante, you've used all of your negative energy on the Panthers this week.
I have.
Sigh.
Whatever.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm taking the Patriots. They beat the Raiders pretty convincingly last year. The way Josh McDaniels is coaching this team, especially after the collapse they had against the Rams last week,
Oh my gosh!
I am convinced that
wow,
they can do it again. This team has just been embarrassing this year. I mean, in some weeks they play like they're the second best team in the AFC West. Some weeks they play like they're the worst team in the NFL. You never know which Raiders
they're better
you're
than
get.
the Broncos. Let's establish that.
Yeah, of course. People called me crazy for saying that, by the way.
I know, but we can't really claim that when we also said they were going to be a playoff team. Neither are true. That was the thing about the division. Everybody said, oh, all four teams are going to make the playoffs. And there was not a single person in the world that thought the Broncos and the Raiders were good. Everybody was either on Team Broncos or Team Raiders. And everybody was wrong, anyways.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I think this is where Vegas starts to decline a little bit. It starts with this week. Give me the Pats. I think they get the win.
I'm just not looking. The Patriots have won 7 out of the last 8 for the Raiders, including 6 in a row. Actually, that's not even a relevant stat. That goes back to like the 90s. What am I thinking? But we've won 6 in a row, so that's enough for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know what game's next, but
all right, next one: the Titans and the Chargers in LA. My storyline with this game, leading up to my pick. LA looked good last week. Maybe they're back. The Titans have lost. What, has it been 3 games in a row? I think it has been. Jaguars, Eagles. Who was before that? Yeah. Yes, it has been 3 games in a row. I'm pretty sure. That being said, I've always taught myself in terms of NFL picks to ride with the hot hand. Sometimes, anyway. This example I'm going to take the Chargers. I think the Titans could make this interesting. They always play well at SoFi Stadium for some reason. But I'm going to take the Chargers. I think they get the win. I think they improve to 8-6, which puts them in a pretty good position to either make the playoffs or barely miss it. So I'm going to take the Chargers in this one. Which one of you guys wants to go next?
I'll go next. And I'm going to take the Chargers as well here. The Titans looked like a travesty of a franchise last week against the Jaguars.
Jeez.
Am I wrong, dude? They let Trevor Lawrence drop 4 touchdowns on their head.
That's true.
And I think Justin Herbert is going to do something similar. I think Derrick Henry's going to have a good game. But give me the Chargers.
All right. Luke?
yeah, give me the Chargers as well. The Titans are kind of a sad case right now. They're kind of one of those teams that they're a good team with a hint of suck, as that one Barstool guy who makes all the tier lists would say. Or they're just not a good team but with good coaching. And I actually think that I'm one of the people in the camp that Brandon Staley is not very good. But I don't think it's going to matter all that much because Justin Herbert is good and Ryan Tannehill is nothing special. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm forcing myself to say a lot about this game. Wow, it's a pretty easy pick for me. I'm going to pick the Chargers. So.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Next game is the Bengals and Bucks. As I previewed earlier, I really need Tom Brady and Tampa Bay to lose this game. They have not looked great. Last week really showed that. The 49ers handled them. And might I remind you all, even though we didn't have an episode, if you follow the Instagram, you know I was the only one to pick San Francisco.
Yeah, that looks really dumb on me looking back, but I just don't like to pick against Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Well, it worked last week.
And they were also playing Brock Purdy. Who saw that coming?
True, yeah.
And it's going to work again when I ride with Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Joe Burr, Joe Ice, whatever you call him, is going to help the Panthers out, like a lot of teams are this week. The Bucs are going to fall to 6-8, and the Panthers are going to be in first on a tiebreaker. Give me the Bengals.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, you could get all the help you want from the Bengals, but the Carolina, they're just not going to help themselves this week. That's the only thing. But give me the Bengals here for sure.
Yeah, give me the... no, I'm not going to talk myself out of the pick the Bengals on the whole.
No,
Don't bet against Tom Brady thing. The Bengals are way too good for that. And Tom Brady can do all sorts of things on a football field, but his team can't, and the Bengals are way too good.
Remember when Cincinnati was 0-2 and everybody was like, oh, God, the Bengals are falling off?
That was strange. Yeah,
They are 9-2 since.
But I remember last year they would just lose some weird games.
Yeah.
And so last year everybody was like, I think at one point they were like 5-3, and everybody was struggling to get a read on them. But no, they're very good. I'm pretty sure are all of their receivers healthy. Tyler Boyd might not be. I don't know why I think I saw that. But
who knows? Who knows?
Give me the Bengals.
All right. Moving on to Sunday Night Football. These two played 2 weeks ago, and they tied. Are we going to have a winner this time? It is the Giants and the Commanders, both sitting at 7-5-1 on the season. This matchup is in Washington. I am hyped for this. I am ready to be entertained with this matchup. And I'm going to take the Washington Commanders to win a very close and exciting game.
How I said, you guys remember how I said, the Bills are probably my second team?
Yeah.
Commanders are your third.
It's the Commanders.
They're your second team?
Left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders. Give me the Commanders here over the Giants for sure. Light work.
You guys are going to... I know. I'm just going to say... I'm going to throw this out here, and you're never going to believe me in a million years. It's fine. I already know. But I swear on my life that I was thinking about... I was like, wouldn't it be funny last week if I picked a tie? You're never going to believe me, and that's fine. But I was thinking about it last week, and it would have happened. It would have been the craziest pick ever.
Are you going to do it again?
It's never going to happen. It's not going to happen twice, right? No, there's no way. Both these teams have too much fire because they both really, really need this win.
Yeah.
The Giants started off 7-1 and are 7-5-1, I think.
Yeah.
Man, they really, really need this. Where is this at?
In Washington. FedEx Field?
Yep. The worst field in all of sports.
Injury Central.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like MetLife holds that crown.
Yeah.
Both teams.
Both of them are fine.
Yeah. Man. I still can't pick.
Damn, they're both 7.
They both really need this.
Well, here's what we could do. We could predict the Monday Night Football game and come back.
I have a pick.
Okay.
I think the Commanders, that whole franchise is just... They tend to screw up things like this, so give me the Giants.
Okay.
I like them too. I like the team, but it's just such a but it's really such a Giants thing to do too. I'm not gonna pick a tie. Give me the Giants. I'll stick with my gut, I guess.
All right. Yeah.
If it's a tie, you heard it here first that it's possible, and I'm gonna kick myself for weeks.
Hey, it's good to have a disagreement in this game because I feel like it's really close. Moving on to the Monday night game, we've got the Rams and the Packers. Before the season, we thought this was going to be this incredible game. It's 4-9 versus 5-8 team. But I will say, I'm going to be pretty quick with my pick here. Call it an upset, maybe. Baker's back. Baker is him. Ram it. Whose house? Rams' house. Give me the Rams on the road. That's what I'm going to say. Hey, I will say, did you see that 98-yard touchdown game-winning drive by Baker on Thursday night?
I did, yes.
That was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good to see it for him. I think he's going to be starting this game. I think he could really get a nice win here.
Had to have been a little bittersweet for you, though, right?
It was. I will admit. I mean, I wish he did better in Carolina, but it's good to see him working out again.
Yeah.
Last year, Baker played on Christmas at Lambeau Field and did not have a very good game. So this is a chance for him to get redemption for himself, and I think he takes it.
Yeah.
So give me the Rams.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams also. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not alone here.
I have no confidence in the Packers whatsoever.
Luke?
I'm going to take the Packers. Just because, they're not eliminated from the playoffs. They're going to be soon. We all know they're not making the playoffs, but if there's any chance in hell that somehow they do, they need to win this game. And the Rams obviously have no chance of making the playoffs. They're as done could be. The Rams could lose, and Baker Mayfield could still have a good game. Those things aren't mutually exclusive. And I think something like that will happen. Listen, I don't like the Packers either. I really don't like them. Nobody really does. And against pretty much any other team, I'd be fine picking against them. But the Rams are just as bad, if not much worse. And Baker Mayfield doesn't really change that. He makes them a little bit better, but dare I say that could have been a little bit of a fluke last time. The writers of the NFL script went crazy for that, but I'm not sure that he can really do that back-to-back weeks. We'll see. Hopefully it's interesting. The whole world would like to see Baker Mayfield continue to really play well. That'd be great for the game. But for this game, give me the Packers, unfortunately.
Okay. So that's the picks of this week. Luke, did you make a start and sit 'em?
I did.
Do you want to go through it real quick?
Yeah, I can. I also went through and I figured out how I did. The last time I picked, which was week 13, it's a little bit in the background of all of our memory now. But for week 13, I told you to start Trevor Lawrence. I was 1 week too early to that. He had 33 points last week, but week 13 he had 16.38 points. That's an L. I told you to sit Kirk Cousins. That was a W. He had 11.82 points. And I told you to pick up Deshaun Watson, even though I hated saying that. He had 5.3 points, so whatever. I told you to start Ramondre Stevenson against the Bills. He had 13.8 points. So I'll say that's a W because they're kind of a lack of good running backs right now, reliable running backs. I told you to sit Leonard Fournette. He had 14.1 points. That's kind of an L. And I told you off the waiver wire to pick up Cordell Patterson, who had 6 points, so whatever. I told you start Jamar Chase. He had 16.7 points, W. And to set Amari Cooper, he had 8 points, so also a W. I told you to pick up Christian Watson from the Packers. If you haven't already, still do, because he had 24.4 points that week. Tight end, I said start George Kittle. That was an L. He had 4.2 points. I said sit Cole Kmet. Of course, he decided to play well. He had 13.2 points. That's an L. And I said to pick up David Njoku, who apparently didn't play. So this week, week 15, it's crazy that it's already that far away in the year. I'm going to say start Justin Herbert, even though he hasn't been great this year. He's been stringing together a couple really good starts, and the Tennessee defense probably isn't going to be able to be too effective against him. I'm going to love this. I'm going to enjoy this. Sit Tua, turn the ball over against the Buffalo defense, because he's recently been bad against tough defenses. Who would have thought? Oh, wait, me. And waiver wire pickup is Jared Goff. It surprised me to realize he's still rostered in only 47.2% of leagues. I think a lot of people had him at the beginning of the year, dropped him in the middle of the year, and now he's starting to really play well again. He averages 16.4 points. He could be worth it. Running back, start Tony Pollard. He's been playing really well, and he could explode against the Jags defense. We'll see. On the other side of the stadium, sit Travis Etienne, who has never been reliable, and the Dallas defense is good. It's as simple as that. In waiver wire pickup, Adam, you like this? I said pick up Donta Foreman.
Yes, sir.
Is that how you say it?
You could say Donta Foreman or Deonta Foreman, either one.
He's averaged 7.5 points, and he is rostered in 82.1% of leagues, which is a little surprising. I would have thought it'd been less than that. So jump on that. Wide receivers, start DK Metcalf. He could be big in this game against San Francisco. If they're going to win, he probably will have to be big in that game. And sit Jerry Jeudy. It may be tempting to start him after week 14. I think he had like 33 points. But don't fall into the trap. The Broncos offense still sucks, and Russ may be out. It's just a bad idea. Waiver wire pickup, Dante will like this. I said pick up George Pickens.
Facts.
He is rostered in only 65.1% of leagues and averages 9.3 points. And he tends to do really well whenever he gets targets. It's just as simple as that. I think Dante can attest to that.
And with his QB1 probably coming back this week. Well, he was back.
Probably,
last week.
yeah.
Yeah. But you get what I'm saying. With Kenny Pickett,
Yeah.
he's probably going to have a pretty solid game.
Yeah. And for tight ends, I said start Dawson Knox because the Miami defense has not been tough on tight ends. And he had a good game last week. I said sit Evan Ingram. I know I sound crazy because I think Adam will attest to this in a couple minutes. He might have literally been the top scoring fantasy player last week. He had like 40 points or something ridiculous. But that won't happen twice. So sit Evan Ingram against the Cowboys defense. And waiver wire pickup, well, is still Evan Ingram because you might as well take a chance on that. He's rostered in 61.7% of leagues and averages 10.3 points. And that's all I have.
Here you go.
Dante, before you give your good, bad, and ugly on the fly, I want to present a stat that I saw. I think it was via The Athletic on Twitter. I forget who. Brock Purdy is the only Mr. Irrelevant ever to complete a forward pass. Does that make him the best last pick in NFL history?
Definitely.
I think it does.
Definitely.
Okay, Dante, go ahead.
Yeah, who needs it? Screw it. Who cares? It's always on the fly anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh, you're not doing it?
Nah, it's all good.
No? Okay. All right. Then I'll wrap us up with the fantasy leaders for this week. You know what? For once, let's go in reverse order. Let's go one to last. And I want to start this way because I'm not going to be mad at Luke, but he kind of spoiled part of it.
It is be real time, boys.
Oh, okay. Well, for me, it can wait till the end.
Well, for me, it's not going to because you're the one talking right now.
Hold on.
Live on air.
Okay.
Had to take mine.
Sorry, guys. All right, I'll get into it. Fantasy leader for this week with 39.2 was Evan Ingram. So thank you, Luke, for previewing.
Dante, I love you in this picture.
Runner-up was his teammate, Trevor Lawrence, with 33.42. Tie at third, Justin Jefferson and Jerry Jeudy each had 33.3. Jerick McKinnon, I haven't heard of his name all year, had 32.4.
Chiefs, yeah.
Jalen Hurts at 30.38. Thank you, Luke. CMC, my boy, 29.3. I expect him to have a big game against the Seahawks tonight. I hope so. Jamar Chase and Miles Sanders tied for 28.5 at number 7. Number 8, 26.1 for Jared Goff, one of Luke's waiver wire advice pickups. Number 9, with possibly his best game all year, 25.58 for Danger Russ Wilson, as they call him. He's not dangerous anymore. Number 10, 25 on the dot for Kirk Cousins. Number 11, 24.4 for Austin Eckler. Number 12, 24.1 for Tyreek Hill. Number 13, 23.6 for Austin Eckler's teammate Mike Williams. 14, 23.4 for James Conner. And a tie at number 15 with another former Steeler and someone I really haven't heard of. Juju Smith-Schuster and Chris Moore, who is a receiver for the Texans, each had 22.4. And our honorable mention this week with 22.2 is Tony Pollard. All right. I think we can wrap it up there, especially because I have to take my Be Real picture now, so I might as well go do that. Thank you guys for listening to episode 11. We hope you enjoy it once it's out on YouTube. By now it will be once you're listening to it. As always, Adam.
Dante.
And
Luke.
And since it's Christmas break, we're going to try and get some episodes in, I hope.
Yeah.
We want to, maybe some friends really want to be on, so we'll try and meet up with them.
No promises because schedules are very busy this time of year.
True. So if this is this could be, I'm not going to say it's going to be our last episode until we get back from break. It very well could be, but we'll see. We're going to try something for you guys. Anyway, thank you all, and we will see you very soon, and Merry Christmas to everybody.